morning Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Trinidad and Tobago's opposition to blank a parliamentary probe into the Cambridge analytical data mining scandal. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Friday, April 20. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Ricardo Roberts. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The opposition United National Congress, UNC, says it has no intention of participating in or being subjected to the investigation by a joint select committee of Parliament into whether the party was involved with Cambridge Analytica, which harvested the personal data of citizens in the Twin Island Republic 2 years before the last elections. In a statement issued on Friday, the UNC said while it welcomed a lawful, independent and transparent investigation into the alleged activities of British political consulting firm Cambridge Analytica and affiliated companies in Trinidad and Tobago, the JSC is not the appropriate body for such an investigation. And it says it will therefore not take part in any, quote, political pappy show, end quote. The UNC says it prefers a thorough and complete investigation by the Commissioner of Police and the Director of Public Prosecutions. The convening of a joint select committee was announced after the scandal broke late last month when whistleblower Christopher Wiley told United Kingdom lawmakers that Cambridge Analytica, a British political consulting firm, had undertaken work in the Twin Island Republic in 2013 under the Kamala Persad-Bissessa People's Partnership Administration. But the UNC insists that such committees are set up to monitor and provide oversight of state entities and not political parties. It said it is, quote, gravely concerned that in his zeal to score cheap political points and blatant misunderstanding of the law, the Attorney General is sacrificing the public interest and undermining the rule of law by attempting to misuse the powers of the JSC to persecute private individuals in the public domain in an apparent political witch hunt and fishing expedition, end quote. The UNC said this could open the floodgates for parliamentary JSCs to be abused and misused to haul any person to be questioned on any matter at the whim of the Attorney General. The opposition insisted that it had no involvement, contract, or dealings with Cambridge Analytica or its affiliates for the purpose of data mining, as has been alleged. Still in Trinidad and Tobago now, former Health Minister Dr. Fuad Khan has renewed his call for the decriminalization of marijuana for medical purposes. His comment came as the global community observed International Day of Cannabis, commonly known as 420. In a statement released on Friday, Dr. Khan, who is an opposition legislator and medical practitioner, said the government's continued failure to treat the matter as one of national importance is a serious drawback when it comes to society evolving based on science, pragmatism, and common sense. He said Trinidad and Tobago has some of the highest rates of cancer, hypertension, and diabetes in the region, and if marijuana licenses are granted, the country can benefit from the positive medical benefits, and patients with epilepsy, diabetes, cancer, multiple sclerosis, irritable bowel syndrome, and other conditions would be able to have access to legal marijuana for their ailments. Now, Khan also noted that while the debate continues on the efficacy of medical marijuana, major research has been undertaken to understand the positive effects of the substance. He said it is unreasonable and unfair for adults to have the right to legally consume alcohol, tobacco, and other legal drugs, but are criminalized if they choose marijuana, a natural herb. The Guyana government has dismissed moves by the main opposition People's Progressive Party, the PPP, to file private criminal charges against two sitting members of cabinet. The charges against Public Health Minister Volda Lawrence and her predecessor, Dr. George Norton, pertain to a $605 million Guyana dollar drug purchase and the rental of the Sussex Street pharmaceutical bond. Opposition legislator Juan Edgehill and Vikram Bharat swore to the charges before Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Wednesday. But Minister of State Joseph Harmon says the PPP was seeking to distract the public from the malfeasance charges filed against former Finance Minister Ashni Singh and the former Chief Executive Officer of the National Industrial and Commercial Investment Limited, Winston Brassington. We get more in this report from Capital News.
Government is confident that two sitting ministers will be vindicated of charges brought against them by the People's Progressive Party. To the People's Progressive Party members, Vikram Bharat and Juan Edgehill moved to the Georgetown Magistrates Court where they filed private criminal charges against Public Health Minister Volda Lawrence and former Public Health Minister, now Social Cohesion Minister, Dr. George Norton. The charges are in relation to the sole sourcing of $605 million worth of drugs from Answer McCall and the rental of the Sussex Street bond. Ministers Lawrence and Norton are expected in court on April 24 to answer charges. Government's chief spokesman and Minister of State Joseph Harmon, in a press release, said the charges filed are an attempt to remove attention from malfeasance charges filed against former Finance Minister under the PPP administration Ashni Singh and former head of the National Industrial and Commercial Investment Limited, NISIL, Winston Brassington. Harmon said the PPP is aware that more charges are soon to be filed against other high-ranking public officials who served under the Jagdeo and Ramatara administrations. The charges, the release stated, are as a result of months of intense investigation by commissions of inquiries and evidence gathered by the Special Organized Crime Unit of the Guyana Police Force.
A High Court judge in St. Kitts and Nevis has set the end of the month for the start of the case in which government is seeking to oust former Prime Minister Dr. Denzel Douglas from the Parliament on the grounds that he has Dominican citizenship. The government, through Attorney General Vincent Byron, is seeking a declaration that since the election to the National Assembly on February 16, 2015, Douglas became disqualified from being a member and should vacate his seat by virtue of his swearing allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state, namely Dominica. Douglas has already called on the court to dismiss the application, saying the government is wasting the court's time. When the matter came up for hearing on Friday, Justice Trevor Ward ruled that submissions should be made by May 11th, with the matter to be heard on May 30th. Senior counsel Anthony Astafan, who is on Douglas's defense team, said he has agreed with Trinidadian-based senior counsel Douglas Mendez to disclose in writing the number of times his client had traveled and then submit his diplomatic passport to the judge to verify that the information given is accurate. Over in St. Lucia now, Lambert's Academy President and CEO Dr. Iftikhar Shams has filed a claim in the civil court against the government for malicious prosecution and wrongful imprisonment. He says the claim was filed in the Caribbean Supreme Court as his last hope after he failed to reach Prime Minister Alan Chasney and the head of Invest St. Lucia in a bid to restart his business. We get more in this HTS News Force report.
Some 60 Asian students were witnesses and gave statements as Lambert's CEO Dr. Iftikhar Shams and 3 other accused were slapped with charges of money laundering, obtaining property by deception, and human trafficking. The 3 were arrested and charged in March 2015 and spent about 2 years on remand until bail was finally posted. The first to go with the wind was the money laundering matter, which was dismissed by Magistrate Ermin Moise in October 2015, while the DPP withdrew the charges of obtaining property by deception in January 2017. The human trafficking charges were dismissed by Senior Magistrate Christine Fulcher 7 months later in July. But life outside the big house has not been easy for Shams, who says that out of frustration and hopelessness, he has filed a civil suit against the Attorney General.
I tried my best to reach to the Honorable Prime Minister and head of Invest St. Lucia. Till today, I didn't get any call, any support from them. So I don't have any, other option, but I had to go to the court for, to get my property back, to my business back, to get my normal life.
You said your property back.
Yeah.
Your property in what?
Magic Crime Unit didn't give me anything what they says from me. And I'm having difficulties in every government sector. Wherever I go, I face the difficulties. You know that I'm a foreign investor, and I cannot do anything without the blessings of the Prime Minister or Invest St. Lucia.
Among the things Shams alleges to have not been returned to him are money, business documents, and equipment used in the establishment of the Lamberts Academy. The Asian national is resolute in its bid to establish another school on St. Lucia, despite the 3-year ordeal. The civil claim, he says, is on the grounds of malicious prosecution and wrongful imprisonment.
If you remember that, they put me in jail for 2 years without proving me guilty. And, and they froze all my bank accounts worldwide. They shut down all my businesses over there. And then, the court of the St. Lucia has exonerated me from all the cases. I have been proven totally innocent. But even that, I'm not able to start anything here.
But if you're undergoing so many problems down here, why choose to still remain in St. Lucia?
Oh, the damage they have done. I'm on red flag everywhere. Even I have been refused by Invest Trinidad and Tobago and Invest Dominica. I applied there, as a foreign investor to go there and settle there, but they rejected because I'm on red flag everywhere for these cases.
The embattled Lambert CEO alleges the entire matter was politically motivated.
Coming up in Caribbean Newsline, Belize rejects the U.S. assessment of the country as a major transshipment point for illegal drugs. We have more news after the break.
The Career Development Institute's Caribbean Rising Stars in Beauty competition determines the best and most talented in hair, makeup, nails, or barbering. Win a scholarship and prizes worth more than $5,000. Build your clientele and expand your business. Upload 4 photographs of your best work to our email address. Watch the public vote on our Facebook page. Join the winners at the prestigious Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center for a live finals competition. Email careerdevelopment.institute@yahoo.com. The Career Development Institute, bringing the best in regional beauty together.
Kick back, relax, enjoy the view, the boats, the scenery amidst epic parties, entertainment and nightlife. Antigua Sailing Week. Experience 7 days of non-stop bliss. Chase the race daily by land or up close by sea as the crews compete for glory. Then, when night falls, the harbor ignites. Antigua Sailing Week, April 28th to May 4th, 2018. Antigua and Barbuda. The beach is just the beginning.
Follow your heart to the 22nd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival from June 27th to July 1st, 2018. Featuring Kester Band, Sifa Longi, Small Axe Band, Nyla Blackman, and Betty Wack. Also, Patti LaBelle, Dijon, New Vibes International, Rhythm of the Beat, and Wayne Wonder. Spice, August Alsina, Aishona, Byron Messiah, Dasha, Shaka Dimas, and Pliers, and Miss Lauren Hill. Save the date and book now for the 22nd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other.
The Belize Attorney General Michael Prayfeet is dismissing the United States' assessment of the country as a major transshipment point for illegal drugs. Belize was listed in a U.S. narcotics report last month as one of 22 major drug transit countries. The International Narcotics Control Strategy report said Belize's drug control efforts are hampered by corruption, insufficient investigative capacity, an ineffective judicial sector, and a lack of political will. While acknowledging that he had not yet seen the report, Prayfeet didn't mince words about how he felt about it and the source of its information.
I said this before and I'll say it again, that's their opinion of what Belize is. We don't know. What evidence do they have? They have not presented to us any evidence to demonstrate why it is they believe that. Or based on what? Based on what they're saying we're a major transshipment point of drugs. Based on what? We don't have any information from them as to what is the foundation of that analysis. They don't share any information with us. If they know, if the U.S. knows who's bringing drugs into Belize, then let us know and we will arrest those people because drugs are illegal.
Prefitt says the report is damning for the country, but until the U.S. is prepared to say how it got its information, he will dismiss it as a cowardly act.
It is a black eye, yes, because they're an elephant and we're a flea in world politics and geopolitics. But at the same time, I think it's very unfair and quite cowardly that you would pass a judgment like that on Belize without any evidence to show on what you base that opinion on. Well, we try to communicate with them every day. They tend to want information but not give information. So as long as we're not treated equally or operate on an equal footing, then what can we do? All we can do is to try and fight crime the best that we can. If there's an illegal activity, we go to stamp it out. We bring the people to court. They have their day in court, and the justice system decides. But until then, I do not accept any other country's assessment on my country.
The Caribbean Examinations Council has launched its customer service charter designed to improve the organization's working relationship with its customers. Registrar and Chief Executive Officer at CXC, Glenroy Kamabach, said the team worked on the charter for just over a year to ensure that it represents the interest of both the internal and external customers and meets their expectations.
And we feel fairly confident that what we put out is what we can reach, and it also is what the customers would want from us. However, we expect our customers to continually be engaged with us, to constantly let us know where we let them down or what they expect from us, and to send those in by mail, send them in by Facebook comments, send them in however they can. But we are here to serve. We belong to the people of the region, and we expect you to tell us when we are doing well. We also expect you to tell us when we are not doing well, so that we can try wherever to outshine, to go beyond what the customers expect of us, and to be this regional institution that all of us are proud of.
The charter is expected to provide a guide to the Council on how it delivers excellence, its response time to customers, and its overall standards. Deputy Chair of CXC, Dr. Marcia Potter, told the gathering at the launch that the charter is not a static document. She said there will be improvement to it over time as the Council continues to engage its stakeholders. Potter says the charter is one further step by the Council to continue to offer excellence across the region.
I certainly would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the chairman and the entire governance body of CXC to congratulate the registrar and his entire team, the working group, the charter working group, for the excellent work done in moving us forward in launching this charter and looking forward to the implementation of it and the continued work we need to, so that we have even more excellence as we go forward.
And ahead in Newsline Sport, a grand welcome home for a history-making high jumper. The details after the break.
The Career Development Institute's Caribbean Rising Stars in Beauty competition determines the best and most talented in hair, makeup, nails, or barbering. Win a scholarship and prizes worth more than $5,000. Build your clientele and expand your business. Upload 4 photographs of your best work to our email address. Watch the public vote on our Facebook page. Join the winners at the prestigious Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center for a live finals competition. Email careerdevelopment.institute@yahoo.com. The Career Development Institute, bringing the best in regional beauty together.
And it will go until it starts again. And you feel like I'm
she want to do it and she want the love deep a long time, she want get a feature. I couldn't wait. Simple things are your blessings. Simple things, them are your blessings, your blessings. Simple things are your blessing. And you don't notice your blessings.
Kick back, relax, enjoy the view, the boats, the scenery amidst epic parties, entertainment and nightlife. Antigua Sailing Week. Experience 7 days of non-stop bliss. Chase the race daily by land or up close by sea as the crews compete for glory. Then, when night falls, the harbor ignites. Antigua Sailing Week, April 28th to May 4th, 2018. Antigua and Barbuda. The beach is just the beginning.
History-making St. Lucian high jumper Levin Spencer was given a grand reception after returning home on Thursday following her successful outing at the Commonwealth Games in Australia. After touching down at the Hewanora International Airport, the 33-year-old was met by Acting Prime Minister Stephenson King, Acting Sports Minister Leonard Montoute, along with Fortuna Belrose, Local Government and Culture Minister and President of the St. Lucia Olympic Committee. The Acting Prime Minister said Spencer's achievement was a historic moment for St. Lucia.
But I believe today crowns the moment as we celebrate Laverne Spencer. Her celebration is one which must go down in the annals of history and to be recorded not only for the great welcome that we're attempting to give her today, but must be seen as a perpetual recognition of her contribution to sports in St. Lucia.
Meanwhile, the Golden Girl admitted to being apprehensive about restarting her season this year after injury had kept her out of competition last year. Spencer made several personal best jumps, ending her indoor season as the #4 ranked jumper in the world. She explained why winning the Commonwealth gold medal was special to her.
This Commonwealth medal is obviously the most prestigious among the many gold medals that I have won. And so it will always be special to me. But I also place a high premium on it because I see it as a medal for our tiny nation of St. Lucia, a nation that had tried since 1962 to win a Commonwealth gold medal and to see the loveliest of all the flags being raised while the best anthem in the world, the national anthem of St. Lucia, being played.
Jamaican sprinter Johan Blake and Bahamian Shirley Miller-Weibo are set to headline a Jamaica meet this weekend. TVJ's Ronaldo Brown has the details.
2012 Olympic champion and world 110-meter hurdles record holder Aries Merritt, along with the 2016 Olympic 400 meters champion Shawnee Miller-Weibo of the Bahamas, headlined the list of international stars confirmed so far for this year's Jane Ritz's Grand Prix, set for Saturday, June 9 at the National Stadium. The overseas contingent will also include reigning world 100 meters champion Tori Bowie of the United States. The local cast will be led by former world 100 meters champion Johan Blake and recently crowned Commonwealth Games 400 meters hurdles gold medalist Genevieve Russell. Also listed on the men's side are the experienced Hansa Parchment, Kemar Bailey Cole, Julian Fort and Demish Gay. Commonwealth Games shot put champion and runner-up at the World Indoor Championships Daniel Thomas Dodd, along with Reston Anna Tracy, Khalees Spencer, Sherika Jackson and Natoya Gould are also down to compete. President of the Racers Track Club and chairman of the organizing committee Glenn Mills says there's no shortage of requests from high-quality international athletes.
The only thing that handicap us is the budget, because the bigger the athlete is the bigger the appearance fee. So we, based on the requests that we have had from all across the world, we have no problem in getting athletes. As a matter of fact, we, I think the total number of athletes is 120, and we have requests for over 200, and we're talking about 50% of them are either world champions, Olympic champion, or record holders. But the You have to stay within the budget.
Mills also added that there's no rush to seek Diamond League status for the next meet.
Before you can get a Diamond League, you have to have a certain amount of money as guarantee that you can provide as a promoter. And it's a significant amount. Also, the Diamond League is a set amount. So it's an even number. And so if they were to increase it, they'd have to increase it by 2 to maintain that status. But I don't see, we don't have the facility for Diamond League at the moment.
Meanwhile, Ewan Blake, who will contest the men's 100 meters at the Racers Grand Prix, is looking to quickly rebound from his disappointment at the Commonwealth Games, where he could only manage bronze in the short sprint.
It didn't work out the way I planned it to. I know I'm in great shape, so I'm not worried. You know, I just have to go back to the drawing board and correct what I did wrong in the finals, and I will be ready for the Racers Grand Prix.
Over to cricket now. Legendary former Test captain Sir Vivian Richards has thrown his weight behind CARICOM's efforts at governance reform in West Indies cricket. Speaking to the Antiguan Observer, Sir Viv said he believes the intentions of the regional body are genuine and aimed at correcting some of the problems which plague the sport. He said, quote, "They are not in any way, in my opinion, looking to run the board or anything of that particular factor. They're just looking basically to address some of the problems in which we have in terms of administration-wise and things like that. We saw what happened in Guyana, so no government should get involved. And we see that at the highest level, even with FIFA and so forth, so the same applies here to the governments in the region." End quote. CARICOM is challenging the Cricket West Indies' right as a private entity to manage the public good of West Indies cricket. Sir Viv believes it would be better for both parties to come to the table to negotiate rather than fight over the problematic areas facing West Indies cricket. And that's for sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Follow your heart to the 22nd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival from June 27 to July 1st, 2018. Featuring Kester Band, Sizzler Laundry, Small Axe Band, Nyla Blackman, and Betty Wack. Also, Patti LaBelle, Dijon, New Vibes International, Rhythm of the Beat, and Wayne Wonder. Spice, August Alsina, Aishona, Byron Messiah, Dasha, Shaka Dimas and Pliers, and Miss Lauren Hill. Save the date and book now for the 22nd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other.
Again, the major developments of this day. Trinidad and Tobago's opposition to blank a parliamentary probe into the Cambridge analytical data mining scandal. And in sport, a grand welcome home for history-making gold medal-winning St. Lucian high jumper Livon Spencer following her successful outing at the Commonwealth Games. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sports round the clock, log on to CarnaNews.com. Have yourselves a good night.